I find it all too easy in landscape photography to race from composition to composition, especially when you're in such a beautiful place as Snowdonia, North Wales. But it really does help to try and relax and calm down. And so occasionally I like to set myself a little challenge of taking 3 different compositions in one location. Now it's been a while since I've done one of these, and this time we're at the absolutely beautiful Ffynnon Llugwy in North Wales. And we're going to try and get 3 different shots. And this really forces you to slow down, really think about different compositions and really work the angles and try and get different scenes. Obviously there's the very obvious composition right behind me, the pristine lake that's perfectly still, beautiful reflections in it, and it's heading out of the valley, so it almost looks like sort of one of those high-end swimming pools where it just goes off into nothing. Absolutely fantastic. But let's see what else we can do. Let's wander around. We'll save that one for the end. That's going to be a good shot. But let's work with these rocks around the shores, a bit of ice laying around here as well. Work with those reflections. Don't even think we'll need an ND filter today. It's perfectly still up here. So to start with, we've got these 3 rocks that sort of lead out into the lake, and they're working well for me. They're sort of jutting out, and then we've got those reflections in the lake itself, and obviously the mountain in the background. Now, obviously my camera screen can't quite record at full 14mm, it's cropped in a little bit, but in the photo we've got the top of that mountain and we've got the bottom of the lake here. And that's working quite well. I'm not sure how I feel about it sort of starting in the middle. Maybe we might come in from the side. Right, I think we need to move across just a little bit, and this is the fun of this. You really get to spend a good sort of half an hour, 40 minutes or so just working different compositions and moving fractions, you know, centimetres around just to get everything perfect. A really rewarding exercise to try and do and just improve your compositions. And then when you turn up at that beautiful place, you just sort of snap to it. You know exactly what to do, where to go, and you make the most of that beautiful light. So it's good to practice when the conditions aren't necessarily quite perfect. I mean, today they're pretty good actually, let's be honest, but it's still a fun thing to do. Right, we need to get closer. I think we're going to have to get the ND filter on because since I arrived, the wind's picked up, and that is disappointing. Those reflections just aren't quite as crisp as they were literally 10-15 minutes ago. Just going to go with the 6 stop just for now, and let's take that shot. That's now a 10-second exposure at f16, and let's see what happens. F16, we should get everything in focus. We might have to focus stack just this rock just in the foreground here. Hopefully it won't be too bad, but I'm actually thinking it looks pretty good. Oh, that reflection is almost like a painterly feel in the bottom of the image. The colours are just brilliant. Well, I know I said I was leaving this to the last shot, but the light has just come out and it was so good I couldn't resist coming around and getting this shot early and making the most of it. It's absolutely fantastic at the moment. So it's quite a straightforward shot from here. We're using these 2 mountains, so this one's in shadow, and then we've got this bit over here that's also in shadow, and they're sort of balancing the left and right of the image out quite nicely in nice dark areas. Obviously the centre is full of this lake with the perfect reflections, reflecting that mountain that's covered in that beautiful sunlight behind us. And then the pool just runs off into the distance, into those clouds. Wonderful. The reflections are perfect. Today was not meant to be forecast like this. It was meant to be clag all day, but what a place. This has really turned out to be an awesome little find. Wind's dropped, the reflections are fantastic, don't even need an ND, we're at a 15th of a second, and the way the water just sort of seems to flow off the end, like I say, it almost just feels like one of those fancy swimming pools. It's just stunning. I mean, even here there's still a little bit of work to do. We're quite high up at the moment, and that's giving us some nice reflections, and I really do like this composition, but I'm wondering if we can go down a little bit lower, maybe try and get some of those rocks in the foreground and some of the rocks that are underneath the water as well, and maybe that'll work as a secondary composition. yeah, fantastic conditions. What a place. This is just yeah, I don't know what else to say really. Absolutely brilliant. Clouds are rolling in from the top, but nothing too major. I could be here for hours and hours and still not get bored of this place. This is just fantastic. I still think there's a few more compositions to be had from here. We'll spend another hour or so wandering around. We'll get down nice and low, see if we can incorporate some of those rocks that are just below the surface. Well, it's taken a little bit of setting up this to get the tripod in exactly the right position, but we're now pretty much as low as we can go. We're looking straight out, and that means that you really can't see an end to this lake. It just sort of falls off at the end, which is the sort of thing that I was envisaging when I was standing up there, but it didn't quite work. Unfortunately, we have lost the reflection being that low, but with the circular polarizer on, we're just seeing through these few sheets of ice that are dead in front of us into some fantastic coloured rocks down below. It really is wonderful. The lake is still perfectly smooth. We haven't got an ND on or anything. This is all natural. We're at 1/10 of a second. Circular polarizer on, just taking some of the glare off and also bringing out a few of the details in that sky and a bit of the colour. So again, it's pretty similar to the one up there, but we're using the shadow and the light to really give some balance to the image. So we've got these foreground objects here, right and left, they're both in shadow, and then going further back, they're mirroring, that's over that way, we're mirroring those of mid-ground elements that are again both in shadow, and then on the left-hand side, sort of sweeping in, we've got the big mountain full of light, full of colour, and that's slightly reflected just in the pool. I'm not sure it's as good as the one up there, but it's another composition and I really, really, really like it. What a place this is, just fantastic. Going to head a bit further round. I've been hearing running water all the time I've been here over this side, and hopefully we can get something sort of looking back at this really dark, contrasty mountain in the background, all lovely and rocky with a bit of cloud just topping it off. And there's a bit of cloud over, let's spin round, over there as well, just at the very top. So if we can sort of use that and have that at the top of the image, then I'm hoping that'll work quite well. Let's carry on round this lake, see what we can find and try and get those 3 compositions that I promised you. Well, just walking further around the lake, jump over this stream, and I feel like that rock there was put here just for this photo. It's going to be a nice shot, I think. We'll maybe try and get one of these rocks just down here. Let's angle you down. One of these rocks, I think this one, probably in the foreground. And then if we angle you up with the 14mm portrait shot, we'll get the sort of crack that's coming down the cliff. Unfortunately, there's a bit too much cloud that's now come in, but the cloud is still reflecting the colour of the sky, so it's blue cloud, which actually looks quite unique. I quite like it. So let's get to it before it all disappears. I think this will be the final shot of the video, and I think this will be my 3rd and final composition. Nice reflection, nice rock in the foreground, nice crack coming down the mountain, cloud cover, blue. What more could you want, eh? Fantastic. Let's get set up. I don't like how these little rocks right down here interact with our large rock. Just in the corner, it just means you've got rocks jutting into the shot, which is a minor little detail, but they're the little details that make the shot or break the shot. So I think if we move around just maybe a metre, then we'll be able to get all of those 3 rocks in the shot, as opposed to having them sort of half in, half out. The big rock will still be there, and we'll still get that crack with that lovely blue mist that's coming in. Gonna have to hurry up a bit because it's getting a bit thick now, that mist, must admit. A bit thicker than I wanted. That's not frozen. Ow, there's reeds in the way. That's annoying. Okay, what if we go here? Oh, that's good. That is good. I like that. That's a really nice shot. I like that. We've got a couple of rocks in the foreground, a couple of small rocks in the foreground just down here, the large rock, and then we've got that beautiful reflection in the lake. We've got the crack going up through the mountains. Unfortunately, the cloud has come in a bit too much. You now can't really see that crack. It took a bit longer to get around here than I thought, which was a shame because that was looking really good earlier. F16, 1/6 of a second, circular polarizer. The water is still perfectly still, giving a lovely, not a reflection as such around here, but you've just got some colours in it, which is looking rather nice. And it goes up into that glacial crack. Fantastic. Now I know, and you know, that the best shot was always going to be that one from the end of the lake, looking down with the water sort of disappearing over the edge. We had the light, everything was perfect. And I could have just stopped there. Finding these other compositions, they were obviously never ever going to be as good, but that's not why I've done it. The reason I've done it is because if we all just took that easy, simple shot, then we'd all end up with the same sort of thing, and that just becomes a bit boring. And also, you then start to get into the habit of just taking those shots that you've maybe seen online or that are obvious when you arrive, and you stop looking for those other compositions, which can be really rewarding. I mean, this is real atmosphere happening right behind us, and it's just fantastic, just trying to get a different composition at the same location. So that's the reason I've done it. And then when you go out and you do get to those stunning locations, you will see other compositions that you haven't seen elsewhere, and your brain will just sort of click into that method of thinking and finding those other photos that you should really be taking. So I really hope this has inspired you to do the same. You don't need to find an amazing landscape like this. I've done it at a very small waterfalls and sort of almost a little pool in Scotland. I'll leave it up here. That was another one where I did the same sort of thing about a couple of years ago now, and that was great fun as well. So if you've liked it, give it a quick like. YouTube will show it to some more people. Hopefully it's helped you, inspired you to go and get some shots. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope to see you soon.